Hi everyone, welcome to the Matrix Oracle. My name is Audrey. I am your cosmic weather girl, and I'm presenting to you the astro forecast for April 27, 2023. So today we actually have a first quarter moon in the sign of Leo. So I like to look at cycles of events through, the cycles of the moon. It kind of gives us a progression on certain topics. And today's topic is very much about regaining balance. As I mentioned yesterday, there was this energy of cosmic battle. The moon was here and it was kind of like creating with Pluto this energy that was a little square. It's still happening here, you guys. I told you this energy is going to be there for a little bit. Hi Nessa, hi everyone, thank you for hopping in. This is a little bit shaky, and just so you know, it's not just Mercury retrograde, okay? So I know there's a lot of assumption that, hi Jen, a lot of things are about Mercury and the planet. A lot of things that I've discovered through the zodiac and the astrology is that your personal sacred geometry and the sacred geometry of everything that's happening above us is what creates movement, okay? Because this is how we're getting the energy to come to us, and it kind of feels either nice or kind of like, okay, what's going on? So this is why I do the astro forecast. We're seeing how everything is kind of like squaring here, and why is it happening? It's happening for the higher purpose, to put you on your highest path. And that means your highest path is in vibrational accordance to your highest awareness. And right now, with what we have with this first quarter moon, I find it was very interesting. This placement of early degrees of Leo is about a lot of, spiritual wisdom, but also discretion. The way we give counsel, the way we give our advice, the way we receive advice. But that means that when it's distorted, and especially here in opposition with Pluto, or actually quincunx also to Saturn, there's going to be a lot of potential for gossip, jealousy, envy, any type of competition. And that kind of goes into what I said as far as the cosmic battle, the struggle for power. The more, and this is something, it's very interesting, some of you may not know, but I also do personal training. So this morning I was training someone, and I told them, the more the tension to do a certain exercise, okay, so they had to tense their legs like a mermaid. I said, the greater the tension, the greatest the potential for power, okay? That means that if she aligned to that tension, if she was kind of really giving her all into the tension, there was more potential for her to get the power to do the move, okay? It was not an easy move, okay? So that's something, when I said it, I was like, wow, there's a lot of potential right now for power. And what is power? Empower yourself. There's no battle for power over others, even though this is going to probably happen for some of you. No one can be more specific than me about the situation. Yeah, so you guys, this is happening for a lot of you. Some of you like DM me. And what is very interesting is that you remember that I told you some of the line of tension is especially this green line, okay? This green line, and it's with Saturn. This placement for Saturn, okay, that means that's a quick traveling energy. That's like, poof, that's like an arrow. And it's actually asking to regain balance. So it's kind of like a cosmic paradox. It's like you're shooting an arrow at me and you're asking me to stay stable. Yes. So kind of through the madness, find your balance, okay? And that means some of you becoming more into the observer. Some of you may have done already meditation about becoming the observer. That means you kind of like let the thoughts, the monkey chatter, the monkey mind, okay, just go about its own chatter. Don't try to shut this. Observe it. Observe it. And when you do, you're going to realize that maybe some of the things that you're letting yourself play in the background, well, they said this, and my boss said this, and my this, blah, 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 all this kind of thing. You can just observe and say like, is that still me? Do I still believe this? Like this whole thing? Can I just stop the recording? So there's going to be a lot of healing potential for you to regain balance in the cosmic chaos, the reorganization. This is happening for you to be able to handle greater responsibilities of power. So some of you have been looking like to manifest more money, more success, a greater relationship. All those things, they come with a price of self-mastery. Okay? Except if you want to keep on living in drama land. I was discovering yesterday, and I thought it was very interesting. I mentioned it yesterday that I was born with a natal chart that had like the most sacred geometry was square. So this. I know exactly this. And this calls for someone that is going to be caught in a lot of drama. My life was a soap opera. And I was like, whew, feel much better knowing that it made sense. So some of you, and you signed up for a certain energy for you to understand the self-mastery of those things. So I'm very good at resolving conflict, very good at seeing oppositions and different point of view. Did I always feel like that? No, because I was caught in it. So this is kind of like what's going on right now. As far as you, if you're feeling like kind of shaky with your emotions, with almost like, I saw myself. There's a lot of, you can respond fast. You can be just short-tempered. Or someone says this and it just like, don't disturb me. Like it's just feeling a little bit edgy. This is happening here. What's interesting is that this is a snapshot, of the exact first quarter moon. Okay, this is happening in Leo, and I see that this cluster of energy is between 7th house and 8th house. This is about energy you share with others. This is relationships. This is interaction with others. So a lot of you right now, if you're feeling this pressure, this heat, we are being challenged, and this is something I told you with Pluto. You gotta be finding your tribe, your vibrational tribe. What I mean by this, you gotta be surrounded by people that support your growth, that support your success, that don't compete with you, that see you thrive and they're like, yes, that gives you this, this kind of like excitement. So sorry you guys, there was a little spam that tried to call me. Okay, so while we're doing this energy also is in the 8th house, your life force, your kundalini, your sexuality, your creative power is at stake. Okay, this is where you see, this is the potential for power, and that means you having more of an understanding of your feminine, your masculine, and your sacred self is going to be what helps you kind of move through the potential tension that we see with this quincunx with Saturn. Saturn is trying to teach you mastery of finding balance when things are disorganized, out of order, chaos, people gossiping, people trying to throw you off of balance. This is because vibrationally, you are being called to maintain a higher vibration. And that means this all comes from yourself. Even the universe saying like, don't be thrown by my own, little tests and games here. You got to find this mastery, because your success, your potential to bring more light, to bring more power, to people to kind of like step up into their higher selves and their higher version of their life is going to be requiring you to maintain that frequency. Okay, so this is kind of like a self-mastery little job here. Now, I thought that was interesting because when I looked at the MC and the IC, you know, in opposition, we have the degrees for 44. So some of you, and we have 10 people here, so some of you, if you have the number 10, the repetition of number 4, this is going to be linked to this activation here. You're transcending the polarity of light and dark. You're initiating empowerment from this, and you're ending certain cycles. You're integrating the dark, the shadow into the light. This is what number 10 is, integrating the shadow into the light to have a renewed potential of energy. 4 is about empowerment, is about initiation of the power, and 44 is going to be the light warrior. This is the one that knows what is at stake here, transcending, you know, that duality consciousness. So there's this energy that's kind of stewing for us right now. This is what I have for you today. For the forecast, we still have this, you know, energy of T square. If you want to research it, some of you, you may have the sacred geometry in your chart. This is, you know, this is almost like a perfect square, which is also called a grand cross, but it does have potential for expansion. Tension has a potential for power, and that means power for who? For yourself. Okay, so this is what I have today. If you need any support, you can always DM me. I'm checking all my DMs. I'm traveling right now, so I'm not as often online, but I always check everything. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.